Hey, what's up everybody? So yeah, made some progress. I've got the shell built, so let me show you what's going on, and then we're going to try to cut it and pry it apart. We'll see what happens. Stay tuned. Okay, so this is the shell. It's covered in fiberglass now. I used about three layers of fiberglass cloth, and there's resin down here. It's rough, but that's okay because, well, it doesn't need to look pretty. So now what I got to do is go around the edges here. You can see where it's got on the wood. Well, this isn't going to separate, so I need to trim along the edge of the silicone. And so I've got the old vibrating tool, and I'm going to take care of that. Alright, so now I'm going to go around and try to pry up the shell a little bit, see if I can get it off the wood and separate it. There we go. All right, so I've got the keys pulled on this, got it separated, and I put dowels for my keys, and don't know if that was a good or bad idea, but they certainly do fit. But now I've got a heavy interior in here, and I don't feel really good about just pulling it apart. I'm afraid I'm going to tear the silicone. So I think what I'm going to do is heat this up with a hair dryer and then pull all this clay off, try to get the plaster out and start kind of peeling the clay out, so I can, because I can't move the mask, I can't pull the silicone away, and I can't really just pull I can't just pull this off because there's too much vacuum. Will be a suction in here. Maybe if I get some compressed air, I could do it. Shoot compressed air in there, and that might be worth a try, actually. Let's see. Getting around it. They don't want to separate this yet. I think I'm gonna have to just pry this clay out. I really don't want to do that because I'm trying to preserve the sculpt as much as I possibly could. I don't think I'm gonna be able to. All right, take 3. All right, so after a couple tries, it looks like microwaving to soften up the clay and then digging it out is going to be my best bet, because I got to get the sculpt out of there so I can flex and then I can separate everything else and it'll do fine, but got to get the sculpt out of there first. So I'm gonna have to dig around and then get the plaster cast off of it, the plaster, my life cast, get that out of there, and then everything should separate. So I lose the sculpt. I was hoping to try and save it in case I messed up and I wanted to try and tweak and redo it, but oh well. If I do it, I'll have to resculpt the whole thing. That's just the way it goes, I guess. So here we go. Okay, so the good news with this, as you can see here, this is like really soft. So I got to be careful because there may be some really hot spots on the inside, and I don't want to burn myself, but I've got to get it soft enough to dig out, and because I can't put the turntable on in the microwave, it tends to get warmer spots. The good news is silicone is very heat resistant. So I'm just going to keep prying it up and pulling, hopefully soften it up so it'll come off in big chunks like that. And once I get enough to separate this whole thing, it'll come out a whole lot easier. So I've already verified that the clay, the silicone and the fiberglass aren't sticking by blowing air in there. But now I need to get enough space to be able to flex this thing around. I think I need to move this part around. So it's just a really laborious process. Digging all this clay out. The good news is silicone and this clay don't stick at all together. It's not really I'm digging it away from the silicone, it's just trying to make space so I can flex the silicone and pull it away from the fiberglass shell. Pop all this stuff out. So you have to heat it up enough so it'll pull away. Just dig it out. So here, just digging it out chunk by chunk. And Monster clay is reusable. So. Feels like I need to stick it back in the microwave. All right, so I got done, I heated it, went in the microwave again, got it kind of a lot softer. Now, only thing I gotta watch out for is hot spots. And I can tell there are some because I can see where the clay has gotten liquid. So the thing you gotta remember about monster clay is it's wax. It's a wax-based clay. That's why it never really hardens. It just gets as stiff as the wax gets. Woo! There we go. Ah, big chunk. And there is the original life cast. Now, the rest of the sculpt. That stuff's really too hot to mess with right now. I gotta let it cool off. So there you go. Alright, just getting some of this off my hands. So you see I've got some wax in there, some clay. There's my life cast. Put that aside, and now I can separate this because it has room to move. There we go. All right. Success. Okay, so where are we at? I've done the life cast. I've done my sculpt. I've taken a silicone mold of that sculpt and I've encased it in a fiberglass shell. And that's all done. I am really stoked about getting that far. Now, what I gotta do is take, I can't lift it up, lay a little bit of clay inside the silicone, and then inside that I'm gonna make the fiberglass skull that will sit on my face and have all the pads and that, make the jaw and all that out of it. So, that's the next step, but this is a big milestone for me. I've never made something this big, never sculpted something this big, so I'm pretty happy right now. And anyway, so that's where we stand. So until I get to the next part, and I'll show you how it goes. We'll film that. Peace.